Yeah.
Wow. Wowzers, that's loud. Welcome to Channel 69 News. I'm your host, Carter Ash. We had a pretty interesting week. A lot of new things came out on the front page of Reddit this week.
I've had COVID all week, so.
I've had COVID all week, too. I was working from home, not really being affected. And by the way, I will not be talking about Russia invading Ukraine, but now I just mentioned it, so there you go. At least...
It's happening. It's imminent, by the way.
Yeah.
It's very imminent.
A lot of shit going on with that. But for my first story, land of the free, eh? I almost lost my freaking shit when I heard that blackface hoser Trudeau was spying on us all, eh? I mean, like, I like being progressive, but not that progressive, don't you know? 33 million of us Northern Patriots have had our phones tracked by the Mounties and their silly little gadgets. Simply put, we were all spied on without any consent or knowledge.
That's Irish.
Was that Irish? It was like my Canadian.
Knowledge.
Oh, yes. Oh, was that the last part? Just
the
the
very
first
last
part was
part
good,
was
right?
Irish.
The first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So.
By the way, I have the monopoly on accents around here.
Well, not anymore. I don't know if you just saw that, but that was a pretty good Canadian accent.
Sure, you betcha. It was
Sure, you betcha.
It was okay.
I even put the
Oops, let me sneak in here with a comment.
without.
All right, go ahead.
Without.
Sorry. And moving on.
Oh, gosh.
COVID.
So, 33 million Canadian citizens have been overtly spied on during the pandemic. That's 87% of the population.
Wow.
From the New York Post, Canada's entire population totals 38 million. Evidence is coming from many sources from countries around the world that what was seen as a huge surveillance surge post 9/11 is now completely upstaged by pandemic surveillance. David Lyon, author of Pandemic Surveillance and the former director of Surveillance Studies Centers at Queen's University in Ontario, told the Post. So, the PHAC bought locational and movement data from Canada's telecom giant TELUS to, quote, understand possible links between the movement of the population within Canada and the spread of COVID-19, an agency spokesperson said. So you probably didn't hear about this.
No, I haven't heard of Pete.
So 87% of Canada's population is being just tracked. All their movement data,
Through their phones?
Through their phones. Remember our lawyer friend told us one time how to bypass that?
I don't remember.
Oh, you're probably drunk.
Probably.
So is the lawyer.
So is he. Go ahead. What did he say?
Well, there's a way you can go bypass this, but like, you know how all your apps track your data?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so does the cell service. Every time you open your phone has to get data, from the cell towers, and that is logged within the telecom companies. And so the freaking the telecom
now,
companies
are they tracking movement, or are they tracking what you're listening to?
No, movement. So what it says is that the PHAC, I have it written down here somewhere. It's the Public Health Agency of Canada. Like they said, they wanted to understand possible links between the movement of populations within Canada and the spread of COVID-19. So they were basically tracking the spread and then overlaying that with the actual movement. They probably, were trying to find the connections, be like, oh, there's a lot of people moving in this street, eh? Or whatever. Not a lot of Canadian officials have like thick Canadian accents. Have you ever noticed that?
Well,
have you ever heard Trudeau talk?
I don't know the percentage.
That's the prime minister, right?
Yeah, there's a huge, let's just say 40% of Canada lives in like Toronto. Which is basically across the river from Detroit.
Right.
It's Northern America.
Right.
So
I watched Handmaid's Tale. I know where Toronto is. I know where Ontario is.
Is that coming out? I'm pretty excited.
No, it's gonna be a while because the new season came out last. But
anyways, here we go.
The Public Health Agency of Canada got to purchase the data, which also included a 5-year extension.
Nice.
On tracking the location.
We got.
And if I had a tinfoil hat, I would say that those Canadian people are not getting those freedoms back. We have seen with the Patriot Act that the ruling class will apologize after getting caught and then continue on doing what they want. Being that they control the media, there will be backlash for a few days, and then the story will fade away. And the only people to care about it will be those whack job conspiracy theorists. You agree?
Have you heard the conspiracy theory about Justin Trudeau?
No, what is it?
Who his father is?
His real father?
His real father.
Do they know who his real father is?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist,
We got the music going. You want to borrow the hat?
But Fidel Castro. Look it up. We'll do a segment on it next week.
Okay. I'm going to make a note here that Fidel.
His family was very good friends with the Castros. And if you read the timeline.
So Mama Trudeau was friends with Castro. And they met. And then 9 months later, baby boy Trudeau.
If I remember correctly, she was in Cuba. Now pull up. You don't have to do this now. Save this for a segment next week.
I will.
Pull up a picture of Justin Trudeau next to a young Castro.
Fidel. Is it Fidel or Fidel?
Fidel.
Oh, wow. All right. And that's all the time we ever for
and then pull one up. Put him in the middle and put his father on one side and Fidel Castro on the other side.
I love it.
It's
that's right up my alley.
That's right down your alley.
Okay. I said up and you said down.
It would explain a lot too.
Really?
Yeah, because he's a.
Do you think he's still in contact with Daddy, or do you think
Fidel's dead? So probably not.
Oh. Do you think he was still in contact with Daddy?
Probably.
Okay.
Next. He doesn't have bad things to say about Fidel Castro either.
He kind of likes his policies?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was a hero. He's a huge liberal, progressive dude.
Oh, I know that. But
you know what Canada needs? They need a Donald Trump.
They need Trump.
They need a Trump to go there and just stir things up. Anyways.
I agree. I agree.
And there we go. What else you got?
Beep, 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 beep.
The fuck was that?
My voice is gone, but I have it written down. Make news alert beep noises. Beep, 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 beep.
We got like $2,500 worth of equipment here. You could probably just hit a button and it would be on there.
I totally didn't. I literally did not think that I could just upload the beeping drum.
But you can do.
Come on, man.
What are you
Watch what you're hitting, Kelly.
What are you? Yeah, you can do all that, but you can't hit a button for
beep, 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 beep.
All right.
What? Wait a minute. I'm getting a report from the studio that there's an ongoing situation in a Jewish synagogue in Texas. Let's go to Colleyville, Texas, where the FBI is briefing the media on the situation. Oh, please hold. Please hold.
Colleyville, that's not far from us.
We do believe from our engagement with this subject that he was singularly focused on one issue and it was not specifically related to the Jewish community, but we're continuing to work to find motive and we will continue on that path.
After backlash.
So he targeted.
Hold comments.
I'll let you get through your little.
So it looks like just another domestic dispute, Kelly. Nothing to worry about.
No.
Thank you, studio, for sending us that amazing clip from the FBI. Or maybe it just didn't fit the narrative, Kelly. To start, no one was hurt except for the fucking scumbag that was attacked. That was the attacker. He died and will not be seeing his God, I promise you.
Does he get his virgins?
This shitbag was a British national who was also a Muslim, and it was unclear how he recently entered the country. They don't know what port of entry he came through.
Rio Grande Valley.
Some people are thinking the Rio Grande. Very.
That's why they're the Rio Grande Valley.
Very. I feel like I sound like my dad.
Is that why they're not? Anyways.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm just saying, is that why they're not saying it? Because Rio Grande Valley and Colleyville is maybe
they're pretty close,
4 or
right?
5 hour drive.
Right. I mean, a lot easier to get to Colleyville than Texas, which is outside of Fort Worth. I'll get into that in just a second. But yeah, it's a lot easier to get there to Fort Worth than it is to go from New York.
Yeah.
What is that? Heathrow? Is that the
Heathrow's in London?
What's
JFK?
JFK or whatever the airport is. JFK. To from New York to Texas.
So they have he's British national. They have no way, no passport with stamp saying, I flew into DFW.
From what, and I looked into this. I was trying to figure it out. I could not find no one knows the port of entry. Okay.
All right.
So after backlash, the FBI did a 180 on their initial statement regarding the attack. So the statement we just listened was right when it was happening. Like when it was over, the FBI got out there and they said those things. They said this was a singularly focused attack and had nothing to do with the Jewish community. Except for he held 4 people, he held a bunch of people hostages.
So a Muslim terrorist attack that had nothing, just ran, complete. At a synagogue.
At a synagogue.
That's
held people hostage.
I was like, I'm going to go kill people, but only people that eat ice cream, and I go to a Haagen-Dazs store.
Right. No, not ice cream focused.
No, not.
No. Had nothing to do. No. So after that, after backlash, I assume majority wise from that was
majority.
The majority of the backlash probably came from the Jewish community.
Oh, yeah.
The FBI did a 180 on their initial statement regarding the attack. They said, quote, "This is a terrorist-related matter in which the Jewish community was targeted and is being investigated by the Joint Terrorism Task Force."
If you attack
that was the
synagogue.
little blurb they sent out after going on live TV and saying, no, this was a...
They say what his reason was?
So, Fox News reported the hours-long hostage incident ended Saturday night with the hostages safe and the man holding them dead, according to authorities. The man allegedly had demanded for the release of a Pakistani woman who was in prison nearby on charges of trying to kill American service members in Afghanistan. So there's this female held in prison in Fort Worth. She's called like Lady Al-Qaeda. Her name is like Lady Al-Qaeda. She
should get that tattooed on me.
She was like caught in like Afghanistan or something. I don't know how she got to Fort Worth, but she was caught and was being interrogated in a room in Afghanistan, grabbed an M4 and started shooting at everybody.
Oh, lovely girl.
And I mean, basically was like, fuck America, fuck everybody. You know what I mean? And
Does
then
she have a Tinder?
Yeah, well, this is not the first time that someone has gone.
Why
on
isn't her
an
ass in Gitmo?
Because, dude, Fort Worth is harder to...
I don't know. She can go out and Gitmo that you don't know
she can
about.
go out and Gitmo. That was like, remember a couple... when we were going out to Greenville, Texas, and in between McKinney and Greenville, Texas, there's that POW camp, that World War II POW camp.
We need to go check that out.
Could you imagine being a POW and you know, in the middle of Texas during World War II? Same thing for this chick.
I would rather be a German POW in the middle of Texas than an American POW in Japan.
Well, that's very true. No, I completely agree.
I don't know how the Germans did with our POW. Did they even take POWs or they just shoot them?
Nah, they're pretty crazy. They were more concerned with world domination than, you know, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But the British government set out they said a statement. They said, quote, "We are aware of the death of a British man in Texas, and we are in contact with the local authorities." That's all they had to say about the matter.
Do they have, I'm asking the hard-hitting questions.
The hard-hitting questions. The questions that need to be asked.
Exactly.
Yeah, please.
Does Britain have record of him leaving England? Like he took a flight to Mexico City?
I'm telling you, no one has... From what I've done, I actually did some research. I was trying to, because that's what I wanted to find. That was like my main thing. Is like I wanted to be like, where did he come into the country? Because if he came in through the southern border, this is a multi-layered issue. I'm going to go into kind of the main reasons why this is an issue, but that would be another.
Has anybody talked to Greta Thunberg?
Did he borrow his boat?
Yes.
Did he borrow her boat?
The boat. Zero trace, no carbon.
No
nothing.
trace, completely off the grid. You just got to row yourself across the fucking Atlantic. You got this, man. If you really care about Lady...
And I'll let you get back to your serious
Lady
topic.
Al-Qaeda. If I had a tinfoil hat, I would say that this is a prime example of the U.S. government more concerned with being woke and not offending anyone, rather than telling the truth regarding critical information that needs to be told. Imagine this is your family. Your son is at a place of worship and you get a report that something bad has happened. Then the authorities who you trust are telling you it's not a terrorism attack. It's okay. This could be the difference between you taking action to understand the situation or not. Or if this was an AR-15 wielding white guy, this story would be mainlined into the veins of every American for over a month. It's all about the narrative, and that's all the elite want us to hear.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the narrative.
It didn't fit the narrative, so no one heard about it. I mean,
we
did because we're in Texas. We're in North Texas, so it's pretty local, but I guarantee not a lot of people.
Move on.
Yep, move it on. Oh, doesn't fit. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I've been watching Succession, so I feel that I'm a little bit in how the news is ran now.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. You watched 4 episodes of Succession.
I'm halfway through season 2.
Okay.
But no. Anyways.
But
the news cycles, man. All about the news cycle.
News cycle. But I'm telling you, that's why I can't find any information about where he came from. Because if he came from the southern border, that's kind of 3 layers. That's concerned with being woke, not fitting a narrative, and coming through the southern border.
I saw, I think on Reddit the other day. So you heard about that girl who got stabbed in California?
California, yeah, terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So they had her picture up, and they had the picture of the guy who and it was a black guy. And somebody tweeted it out or whatever. Right. And the first comment was, "Can you please remove his picture? We don't want racist comments." Hashtag Black Lives Matter. That's what it said.
Really?
Yes.
You didn't save that?
No.
I need you to start saving those things. Take a screenshot of something like that.
All right.
It's just, I want to see it. Like, wow. What a fucking shitbag. Yeah. Like, that's what I said about this guy. He's a fucking loser. He's a fucking shitbag. He doesn't deserve us to be dead. None of us deserve to be honoring any of his wishes or,
So they shot him?
Oh, yeah. It's Texas, dude. We sent in a robot that exploded. Yeah. Remember downtown
Blew up
Dallas?
That dude, downtown that shot all those cops.
Dude, I love Texas. Yeah. Hey, you wanna hold a hostage situation? We've been waiting.
Joe Rogan's got a great bit about the Muhammad drawing contest. That was that's maybe 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
that's like there was that church shooting. There was about to be a church shooting, and the guy he walked in with like a gun.
That was over there by Fort Worth too.
And the guy pulls out a gun and shoots him right in the head.
I think he shot one guy, but then somebody in the congregation popped him in the head.
Right. Like instantly. Yeah, he probably shot somebody, and the dude just from like 40 yards too, from the back of the aisle, shot him. They turned that in Texas. They turned that into the default shooting competition situation. They have like these scenarios where they set up like a field. That was the default situation for the.
How about the church that got shot up in Central Texas, South Texas?
That was bad.
A lot of people died in the church, but you know who stopped him?
Was a guy with the AR. Yeah.
The guy who lived across the street heard the shooting, grabbed his AR, and saw the dude get in a car.
Right.
Got in his truck.
Yeah.
And followed him and shot him.
Good. Yeah. Take care of your shit. Take care of your shit, man. Hey, and actually one thing that I didn't put into this story, but I was reading about was this synagogue did really well with what happened because they had trained for it. I saw that. They had been doing drills and training in like certain people knew that if something was to happen, you take all the people and you guys go. And then, you two people, you're going to close these doors and you're going to do these things. You know what I mean? Like, it's so sad that that's the state that people who just want to worship their God have to do,
I have an uncle in California. I'm not going to say his name on here. But big gun guy, used to be a policeman. And they're big church people. Mm-hmm. They go Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. Yeah. And they've done the same thing. But there are several church members that are packing during the service just at the pastor's request.
For sure.
For that reason.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, you ready?
Let's do it.
Bear with me on this one, okay?
All right.
Okay, bear with me. Kelly.
Yes.
Imagine this.
Okay.
You are 10 or 12 years old. Your parents have taken you to the local pool. The creepy guy watching the kids swimming approaches your parents and tells them that you have a natural ability that most kids do not. So you start a competitive swimming career through middle school and high school. You compete at the highest stages of swim until you get the opportunity to compete at a world-renowned school like Penn State. After a few years of coming in last place by 1 second on a consecutive basis, you are scrolling online and realize that there's a way out. You're actually a female, some shady liberal Instagram post tells you. All of a sudden, your luck has turned around. Yeah. Now that you have publicly declared your womanhood suits you, that is a one-piece suit, you are now at the top of your game, crushing records after records. Your ego starts to grow as you quickly become the Michael Phelps of the college swim circuit until you realize that there's 9 billion people on this earth and you're not that special.
True.
Penn State's golden boy girl, Leah Thomas, who currently holds the NCAA record for both the women's 200 and 500-yard freestyle, has been dethroned. The new victor is taking the crown back for women everywhere, at least for a few more months. Yale senior Izzy Hinging is a biological female who is currently transitioning to male, but has not undergone hormone therapy, though he has had top surgery to move her boobs. Did I say that right? Hing told the Washington Times, as a student athlete, coming out as a trans guy put me in a weird position. I could start hormones to align more with myself, or wait, transition socially, and keep competing on a women's swim team. I decided the latter. The article goes on to say, it's unlikely Hing would have enjoyed the same success competing against men. Hing's best time in the 100 freestyle, good enough to make the top 10 on the women's side, is more than a second slower than the year's 130th best Division I men's swimmer. Okay? Anything to say about that?
So the first was a dude going to be a chick, got all the notoriety. Now we have a woman.
A woman.
Transitioning to...
Yeah, don't call him a chick, you fucking sexist pig.
Not a chick. A dude still. But now we have a biological female transitioning to a male.
Yes. Beating...
So she's taking all the testosterone and stuff, or what?
No, so they're not. So if you were, you just messed me up. You good?
I'm good now.
Okay, I'm good too. I'm good.
All right.
No. So Lizzie Hing has not undergone hormone therapy yet. So she identifies as a man, but is still biologically a female.
All right.
Hasn't done any hormones.
She got her boobs chopped off?
Boobs chopped off,
well,
though.
That streamlines shit a little bit, but go ahead.
It makes her a little more aqua dynamic.
Just pointing out the obvious.
Yes, no, that is.
Hey, I'm okay. Hey, and she has not done nothing. She's just a transgender, but she.
Yep,
I'm sorry. They are just
him, because he is now a man, I guess.
Right.
Well, that's why I was like, when I was writing that sentence about
but she's whooping up on the other person's record.
Not the record, just beat him in that one
date.
race. Dude, I don't know how would that work?
I don't know.
That's
the plus at LGBTQ plus. That's the plus.
We don't know.
I don't know.
And that over there.
They should date.
Yeah, so it's a really weird situation. You got one guy.
But I'm cool with this one. She's a biological woman, born biologically woman.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And she's transgender, wants to be
a man.
But she hasn't started none of it.
Okay.
She's still biologically a woman in a woman's sport. Trust me, when she turns to a man,
well, yeah, just like it
she
said,
ain't going to go to the men's team.
Just like the article said, it's unlikely that Hing would have enjoyed the same success because, she's in the top 10 for female, but wouldn't even be in the top 130 for men's Division I. So
here we go.
If I had a tinfoil hat,
you do.
I would say that both these people are having human experiences. Both these people having human experiences are gaming the system. One is gaming the system by becoming a woman because they cannot compete with the men. The other one is competing with the woman so their career as a swimmer won't be over once they become a full man.
So she's just doing it for publicity.
Right now, she said it right there. She said, I could do hormone therapy, but then I wouldn't be able to swim.
I'm with her. Just
I don't know.
Hillary Clinton.
I think it's like, okay, well, if you're a fucking man, be a fucking man. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to transition, be a man, you can't be like, oh, well, I'm going to keep swimming with the women.
It's a gray area.
No. It's not because she's always been a man, right? To their logic.
But biologically, she's not.
Okay, but that's what they would argue you on, right?
I see. I see the angle you're coming.
I'm coming
at
from
here.
the hypocrisy side.
Okay.
I'm saying here is like,
you.
okay, so Leah Thomas competed for a man for 3 years, didn't do shit.
Yeah.
Then becomes a woman, starts breaking all these records. That's gaming the system because you can't compete with the men, so you're going to go down a class, a competitive class, I should say. Men and women
socially down a class, or
all I'm saying is this: Lizzie Hing. If you're going to say you're a man and you want to transition to be a man, you're a man now. Right? That's the whole logic. Is you were always a man.
She's playing both sides.
That's what I'm saying.
It.
So, I want to transition and be a man, but I think I still want to swim for women.
She's playing both
because
sides.
I'm still a woman.
No pun
intended.
intended.
Wait, no, you're a man, right? Are you a man or are you a woman? You can't be fucking both.
She's playing both sides. No pun intended.
She's playing both sides.
Pun was intended.
Pun intended. Pun completely intended.
But she is. She's trying to get the both of best worlds.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. So and then if you were to ask that person and you're like, oh, so you're a woman? They'd be like, no, he's always been a man.
Then why is she on the women's
team?
team?
Then he literally said, "Oh well, I'm going to keep competing with the women because I'm biologically still a woman."
So confused. So confused.
So confused, man. I don't even know what to do with it. I mean, I seriously. You didn't hear about some big gains?
Some big what?
Some big gains. Gains, like, I don't know. Gains.
Oh, gains.
You want to hear about big gains?
Sure.
Well, the Dems have spent the last year crying about January 6th, figuring out a way to streamline South Americans to Iowa, and ignoring their constituents on every issue that they deem important. Inflation. Republicans have been focusing on keeping the United States recognizable until the midterms. Republicans have gained 14 points in party identification in the last year alone.
Nice.
This has not only evened out the party identifications from Democrats to Republicans, but has also gained the Republicans 5 points over Democrats. This kind of polling gives signs of how interested people are in politics, as well as how likely people are to actually show up in an election. So for the last 2 years, it's been Democrats are like 4 or 5 points on party identification. So people who overtly say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat," compared to, "Oh, I'm a Republican," and then other people that don't. It has completely 100% flipped. They were 5-6 points ahead, and now Republicans are 5 points ahead.
I think there's a nice percentage of Democrats who thought they were Democrats,
right?
But
And
when
they
you
realized,
talked to them, they were more lined up with the Republicans.
Well, they were old Democrats.
They were old.
You know what I mean? Like Bill Maher type people who care about people.
Yeah.
Not that Republicans don't care about people, but Republicans care more about like business and free market. A lot of their main thing
also
is free
care
market.
about personal freedoms. You make
Right,
your own way.
exactly.
In life.
We don't need to help you because the free market gives you all the tools you need to become successful. Yes. That's kind of the mantra of the Republicans. And Democrats have always been like, "Oh, well, you don't care about people." And now the Democrats are realizing like, "Oh, Democrats don't care about people either."
No, they don't give a shit about them. It's almost time for them to start caring about black people again, though. Midterms are coming up.
And
then Then they'll wait for a year.
There's gonna be some Antifa and some Black Lives Matter rallies coming very soon.
There'll be a new variant of COVID coming.
What do you think is going to happen first? A new variant, a Black Lives Matter issue, or Antifa? Well, Antifa only shows up when Black Lives Matter shows up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a potpourri. You can go anyway.
Potpourri.
There's a multiple of things that can
a myriad of
options. A motley of colors.
Wow. A cornucopia?
A cornucopia of issues that could go wrong.
I did hear that Bill Gates said that after the Omicron spike, we can start treating COVID like a seasonal flu. So,
thanks,
Bill Gates. Bill Gates says we're ready to be done.
Hey.
Listen to the science.
Yeah.
If you're not listening to the science, then
look at me. I have COVID at the moment, and
I just sound sexier.
I'm 97% fine. I've been 97% all week.
All right. Last thing, Kelly.
All right, last thing.
And I realized that I didn't pull it up on here, but it will take me 2 seconds. Ready?
What's her name?
I don't know. Dana something, right?
Dana, yeah.
Okay, let me go to the OBS. Let me check this out.
I saw this. I know exactly where you're going.
Hold on. I'm on the wrong one.
Oh.
No, you're good. You're good.
The Führer of California. You have him talking?
The Führer? No, yeah. I don't have the Führer of California talking. I just want to have this open while we talk about this.
There's my package I'm missing.
I know. Oh, hey, there's my new Keurig. So between October 2020 and October 2021, train robberies have picked up exponentially by a whopping 356%. Union Pacific has increased in enforcement and patrols and has put drones to work. The drones aren't really working.
Yeah.
Isn't this crazy?
They probably found them in the box.
So this is something, and it has to be going on for a long time. I don't know why just now we're seeing this, but it was a thing last week. They brought up and I started seeing this. Look at these train robberies, man. And I was reading a KCAL 9 report, and so they're talking all about no cash bails. They're saying hordes of people in the middle of the night show up and just start robbing the trains. And even if the cops show up, you get arrested.
And all right.
Literally, the reports are saying people were saying it's okay. I'll just come back tomorrow and do it again. It doesn't matter. Like because they're no cash bail, and most of the time it just gets talked down to trespassing because they don't have evidence of them stealing things.
Has anybody looked into the correlation that L.A. and that what is it, the city on Grand Theft Auto are like the same city?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was modeled after L.A., right?
I mean, it's like
becoming the same thing.
Exactly. That's kind of what's going on. Look at that. And I think the only reason this is becoming public now, because Union Pacific was the one who brought it up.
Yes,
like, dude, where's the police? Somebody's got to do something to help us out here.
Right, and so people, if like I was reading that if an average citizen was to call and be like, hey, there's someone robbing the train, the police won't show up. Only when Union Pacific employees call the police, that's when they show up and take care of this kind of a thing. Dude, hundreds of thousands of dollars a night in packages and merchandises. What if there's COVID tests in there? What if there's, diabetic medicine or whatever?
There's all
insulin?
the stuff you're not seeing on your shelves at your house.
Yeah, bare shelves Biden is from the train robbers, right?
Golly.
California just becomes such a shithole, dude.
If they don't do something soon, they're going to lose forever.
No, it's gone forever. Dude, I mean, from what Joe Rogan says when they're talking about like people, and they're like, you got to think there's 13 million people in Los Angeles or LA County, there's hundreds of thousands. Yeah. There's probably 1 million homeless people,
probably,
if not more, in LA. You're not taking care of that, dude.
Nope.
They've created so many systems and incentives to, let people in. It's an industry. Homeless people is an industry in California.
They don't want to solve it. Too much money's involved in it.
I can't believe I got out before all this really started happening. I mean, this has obviously been building for the last, 2 decades. But I remember taking Madison to downtown LA one time, where they shut down streets and they film movies. And, downtown LA is kind of stupid. There's not a whole lot going on downtown LA.
Hollywood's a shithole.
But we're walking around downtown LA. I mean, we would go downtown Dallas and walk around for hours and have fun and go to restaurants and go to museums and do stuff, And we were there, and there was this. I remember that this doesn't have to do with the train robbery, but there was a homeless lady that started following Madison and screaming at her, "You fucking whore," and all this, and I was like, whoa, she's on a rocker, has red hair, and she's fucking crazy.
Really?
Yeah. But after I left, I mean, that's when things really started hitting the fan. And then COVID just dropped it down the hole. I just wanted to bring this up because I saw that. I was like, look at that image, dude. That's the United States of America. I thought about, South Africa a couple months ago. Remember when South Africa, they were having those riots and they were burning down those warehouses? That's what that looks like. A couple days after those riots, that's literally what it looked like. I mean, just...
That's sad. And it's sad that they haven't gone down there and cleaned it up. Or is that
no, it's a daily thing. No. They send people to go clean it every single day is the thing.
This is a daily thing right here?
This is a daily thing.
Why is Union Pacific
not doing anything about it? Just shoot somebody.
I'm going to stop bringing my trains in.
Shoot two. No. So some stuff that I was reading, they're now rerouting out of LA. So they're not even going to go into LA. I guess it's probably from the port of Long Beach. I don't know why, or I don't know the routes or anything. But the reports were saying that Union Pacific is doing their best to route trains to not even go to Southern California.
So yeah, so like the big container ships
from Long Beach,
from Long Beach or San Pedro, whatever it is, they come in, and then they probably put them on the trains there.
Yeah, and then go out. So there's really probably not a whole lot they can do. I mean, it's right there, right?
Direct it, go through there real fast so nobody can jump on.
Yeah, or don't stop, right? Yeah, haul ass. Well, as we know, we should call our train.
We know a guy who drives a train.
Maybe next week we'll call somebody who's a train conductor. He would be able to tell us why. Because I'm thinking they couldn't go around that turn too fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As from what he said about he travels coal, right? So he pushes, which is heavy, probably way heavier than this stuff. But he might be someone good to talk about. So
yeah, totally.
Oh man. All right. Well, that was headlines. Thank you so much. We'll see you all next week.